welcome to Around the World in 274 Days. And this morning we are in Beijing, China. We are just going to stop for a little bit of lunch. Been driving for about an hour, a couple hours. And then we'll be going to the Forbidden City. So, lunchtime. We stopped at a wonderful hotel for lunch. And they took us upstairs and they fed us a wonderful meal. They just keep bringing tons and tons of food, put it in the center of the table, kind of on a lazy Susan, and you just spin it around and eat what you want. I say the food was very good, and I'm getting really good at eating with chopsticks. This is the east gate of the Forbidden City. Local citizens like to dress up in traditional Chinese dress and come to the Forbidden City, and they're beautiful dresses. We are still in the outer court of the Forbidden City, and it's already phenomenal. Okay, I just got through the gate, the ticket gate. They had to scan your passport. They said apparently my picture that scanned didn't look like me in the photo, so they made me go to another line, and she entered the number and it went right through. So it's just, they made us sit there as a whole group for about 20 minutes before they even started to process us. And I made the comment that sometimes they like to mess with Westerners, but someone else told me they do it to their own people as well. So maybe they just do it to make people realize that they're in charge and you have to do what they tell them, what they tell you to do. So who knows, but we're in, I think, and we'll see the Forbidden City. The Forbidden City is a palace complex in Beijing, China, and is at the center of the imperial city of Beijing. Forbidden City was constructed between 1406 to 1420. It was the former Chinese imperial palace and the winter residence of the Emperor of China from the Ming Dynasty. This is one of the lion statues that is put here to scare off the evil spirits. Keep them from entering where the emperor is. So up on the part of that building there are 10 little statues, or 7 little statues, and the number of statues that are on there, and I'll show you a picture of it here, it indicates the importance of the building. This is 7, and one of the next ones we're going to see has 10. Because it's more important. The Forbidden City served as the home of the Chinese emperors and their household, and was the ceremonial and political center of the Chinese government for well over 500 years. The Forbidden City is listed by UNESCO as the largest collection of preserved ancient wooden structures in the world. These bricks that make up the floor here, these part are original, and apparently there's 7 layers of bricks because the emperor didn't want anybody tunneling in and creating problems or invading. So it goes down seven layers, and also in the inside the Forbidden City there's no sewer. Everything had to be carried outside. Again, I think it was for defensive purposes against his enemies. This is the building where the emperor would conduct official state affairs. We're slowly moving over to the residential area.
The water from here is not enough.
These are the fire extinguishers. They're filled with water.
Have you ever heard about the fact element?
So this building behind me is where the young emperor would come and practice ceremonies. But also every 10 years he would come here to update his genealogy to see how many children he had during the previous 10 years because he had so many concubines. And so this is where he would come and they would tell him how much his posterity had increased. So the emperor had hundreds of concubines, and so that's where his bedroom, but there'd only be one in there, and the concubine was not allowed to spend the whole night with them. They could only stay the length of an incense burning, which is about 2 hours, and that way the emperor didn't have to carry on conversation with her. So anyway, kind of different. There were apparently 26 bedrooms in there. I only used one, and the eunuchs would be in the other to keep his enemies from knowing where he was.
I'm going to give you 5 minutes.
This building is where the empress stayed. Obviously, with as many concubines as the emperor had, he didn't need to stay in the same room as the empress, so she stayed out here. So actually, this building here is the one for the empress, not the one he was pointing at.
The complex claimed to consist of 9,999.5 buildings in total, although experts have shown in recent years the number is only 8,704, encompassing 9,999 rooms covering 178 acres. The Forbidden City also includes several gardens, and this one here, including this one, this is absolutely beautiful, and if it wasn't for all the thousands of people around, it would be very peaceful. After spending a couple hours inside the Forbidden City, we exited out to the out of the Forbidden City itself and into a giant courtyard that surrounds the city. And my only comment was it was a fascinating place with a fascinating history. It was a little on the cool side while we were there, and we kept seeing these scooters driving around with look like blankets on the front of them. But it's like a jacket for the front of the scooter. You put it in on the scooter, and it protects your legs and your arms and your hands from the cold and the wind. Really an ingenious little design. Our time in the Forbidden City had come to a close, and it was back in the bus and now heading for the Great Wall of China. So be sure to watch that video as well. If you liked our video, be sure to subscribe to our channel, Around the World in 274 Days, Bob Allen Travels. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we post another video. The next one should be on Nagasaki, Japan. Thanks for watching.